This is by far the simplest and most effective and strongest fence system out there for an all-steel fence. We've built fences over the years in the ballpark of about 60 years, and one thing that I've learned is doing posts the traditional way, digging holes, setting posts. That's a lot of hard work. I'm Ray with Fence Easier. This is by far the simplest and most effective and strongest fence system out there for an all-steel fence. So over the years, we designed this simple bracket. We had it patented, we've adapted it. It's got hinges so that these wings will bend. That gives you the ability to utilize it in many different terrain situations, because one of the first things we learned was very rarely does land come completely flat. And there's three pieces that we make basically: a horizontal piece, an angle piece, and then we make an adjustable angle that we can use on all steeper hillsides that are too steep for just the angle brace. Your corner post, I don't care whether it's wood, aluminum, plastic, steel, that corner post is the anchor to your fence. It's your foundation. Corner posts need to be a minimum of 2.5 feet deep. We use 6.5 footers because we're generally building a 4-foot fence. So that'll get us our 2.5 feet in the ground. Line posts only have to go in 1.5 feet to 2 foot, depending on how you want them. But we generally use 6.5 foot corner posts, 5.5 foot line posts. We'll show you how these go together. In this particular fence, it's going to be our corner. We want the wires on this side because we're trying to keep the cattle out on this side. Now it works on both sides, but you'll hang your wire on the side where you're trying to keep stuff from getting in. So they would have to push the wire through the fence post to get in. Okay? We're going to drive this down to the 4-foot level. We're down to the height that we want. Now to set our distance to our brace post, we're going to slide this on, and we're going to come over, and we're going to set this brace post right to the center of that welded joint. Okay, that'll give us the best spacing when our fence is all done and make our fence look the very best. So we'll just take that and we'll set that post right there. Get that lined up so our knobs are on the right side. I want this to drive in nice and straight on my side. You might hit a rock. So I'm going to put my foot right on this blade. And that's going to help run that T-post in straight as we can get it. And once again, that's one of the nicer things about this system, is because your post doesn't have to be in perfect. It can be off and everything still bolts together and hooks up. Now we're going to put in our angle brace first. We're going to come off the bottom of our brace post, and we want it in someplace right in here, within about 4 to 6 inches, no higher than 4 to 6 inches off the ground if we can keep it there. Okay. Now that's locked on that post. We're going to put the other end on our corner post. And what we want is we want that corner post to lean out about 1 inch. So instead of being truly vertical, we want it to lean out just a little bit, because we're going to be pulling wire that way. And as that wire pulls, that's going to tension this up, and this post is going to come out then just exactly straight. But it looks a lot better if it's leaning out just a little or straight. Looks a lot better than if it's leaning in. We'll get a bolt on that. This bracket on the end will lock into this T-post any 4 directions you put it on. Either the bolt is hooked on, or in this situation, the knobs are on the back side. It's hooked in between the knobs with the side rail or the back. Any one of those will hook to the knobs on that post. So any direction that post goes, this brace works. And all we got to do is tighten it up gently. And the same here. Now we're going to put our horizontal on. The only difference in between your horizontals is these brackets come straight off instead of the other ones are welded on at an angle. Okay, we're going to put our horizontal on. Now I want this post to hold that horizontal in place. So if it's too far away, I'm going to just bring this post over a little, because I want this post to hold that while I put this on, because I only got 2 hands. And it's a lot easier if that helps me. We're going to put this on right underneath this white cap. That's going to look real good for make the fence very professional looking. Just little tricks that make your particular fence come out better. Tighten that up a little. We've done half a corner. Okay, if we're going to finish this out and do a full corner on there, we're going to do exactly the same thing again. I'm going to grab a horizontal brace. We're going to hook it on the bottom. We're going to line up with the joint on that T-post, and we'll drive this in. Now, a lot of times if you're in real rocky country, you're going to hit a rock where one of those posts need to be. That post does not need to go straight in. You can come over, generally if you angle it just a little bit, it'll come across the top of that rock that you're on, and go ahead and drive, and then you can bend it up to straight, and it will be locked in and good forever. You don't have to make it more complex than it needs to be. Okay, so to finish that out, and that should be vertical or a little bit out. This one we're going to put in right with this one. Okay, we put those 2 bolts on, the 4 bolts on there, and we're done with the corner. It's all wrapped up. You're ready to tie wire and start stretching.